Hello and a very good afternoon here from the airport of Calgary. My name is Robin and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to watch this new video of mine. I'm here in Calgary to fly with Air Canada back to Edmonton. And we're flying on the Dash 8-100, the smallest Dash in the Air Canada fleet. I'm really excited for this and I'm taking you with me. But first, instead of exploring the terminal, we're going to explore the airport, but because my friend Alex Brigglowski just gave me a tour around the airport of Calgary. So let's first look at that, then onto the Dash, then onto Edmonton. So please, come with me. During a quick 2-hour stopover in Calgary, my good friend Alex Brigglowski gave me a taste of what it's like to be a plane spotter. Something I've definitely learned is that it's not an easy hobby. Especially here in Alberta, it can get really cold, and you do need a lot of luck to catch the aircraft that you want to take pictures of, and then to get the right angle. So, to all the spotters out there who embrace the weather for these amazing shots, thank you. Calgary is not your average airport. There is a lot to see here, much more than I can show today. Of course, this is also where WestJet have their headquarters. But on this Sunday in February, not a lot of WestJet traffic was to be seen at the airport here, other than this MAX 8 that was getting ready to be ferried to the desert in Arizona. Our flight today is operated from one of Air Canada's bus gates down in the basement of YYC Airport. I have featured these gates on the channel here once before, when I got to fly a Beechcraft 1900D. But sadly, Air Canada have cancelled the contract they had with the charter airline that operated these flights, leaving the Dash 8-100 we're flying on today as Air Canada's smallest aircraft in the fleet. I really like bus gates on airports usually, since you get a different view of the airport and the aircraft that you usually can't see from the jet bridge. But these gates here, without any windows, must be some of the saddest gates out there. The Havilland Canada Dash 8-100 we're flying on today is one of the oldest aircraft I've ever flown on. The Dash was originally delivered to Air Ontario in January of 1989 and ever since has flown for the airline that eventually became the Jazz Air we know today. It does look like there's not a lot of time left for the aircraft type. The retirement of the smallest Dash has been announced for quite a long time now, and originally this would happen at the end of this year. Unfortunately, with the current situation, we see a lot of aircraft type being retired earlier than originally planned. This includes the KLM Boeing 747, Delta's MD-88 and MD-90, and recently, Air Canada silently removed the Dash 8-100 from the website too. So, this trip report will be slightly different than my others. This is more like a tribute. The Air Canada Dash 8-100 has 37 seats in a 2-2 all-economy configuration. The design of the interior is very dated, and the overhead bins are too small to fit any carry-on suitcases. These have to be left outside to be loaded into the hold. Traveling was just different 30 years ago when they designed and built this aircraft. And it's very loud, although I do enjoy the sound of these props a lot. One of the biggest differences between the larger variant, the Air Canada Dash 8-300, and this one is that the larger variant has two awkward rear-facing seats in the front of the cabin. But unique to the Dash 8-100 is that it has a row 10. But the aircraft only has 9 rows, and seat 10C is that single seat with unlimited legroom in the center in the rear of the aircraft. My seat today was 3D, which I purposely chose for the engine view, although I would have preferred the seat in front of that for an even better view. There's no in-flight entertainment on board, but on the short flights this aircraft operates, it's not really necessary. There is a big seat pouch with some reading material here, and it's big enough to store some of your personal items. The legroom, with my height of 6 feet or 1 meter and 83 centimeters, was just okay for this flight. But if you're any taller than I am, I do recommend you pick an exit row or seat 10C. In the Jazz Dash 8 aircraft, you can find the condensed version of Air Canada Bistro, which is Air Canada's in-flight menu. The flight between Calgary and Edmonton was too short to sell any of the alcoholic beverages, but there was just enough time for a round of complimentary drinks. You know, I'm really happy to finally having been able to fly the Dash, just a couple of weeks before they're getting retired. It's not my favorite aircraft, but it has its charm and a lot of history, and that's something we'll be missing around Canadian airports. But what do you think? Are you sad to see these birds disappear from the airport and from the fleet on the page of the in-flight magazine? Have you flown on one before, and do they fly them in your country? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Havilland Canada Dash 8-100. What a fun little flight that was on the Dash 8-100. I'm really glad that I finally got the chance to fly on one, but unfortunately these aircraft are very old. They're very tired, you can definitely see it. The leather is worn, the interior is dated, and the seats are frankly quite narrow as well, so not very comfortable. You can even see some rust on the landing gear. It's time for retirement, but it was a fun flight. I really am glad that I finally got the chance to fly on. Also, The tour around Calgary Airport, how cool is that? There's so much to see around that airport. Thank you again for showing me around the airport, Alex. And thank you for recording my takeoff and de-icing process there. I'm really happy with that. It's a good addition to this video. Thanks again. If you don't know Alex yet, go check out Alex Berglowski Aviation on YouTube. I'll make sure to link to his channel here in the top right corner. So if you don't know him yet, please go check out his channel and make sure to watch his version of this flight from Calgary to Edmonton on the Dash 8-100, which he recorded a few months ago. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe to my channel. And otherwise, see you next week.